Hello pong muli. Ayun, tapos na po tayo sa palpation. At ito po ang exciting topic uli, auditory diagnosis. So, napakalaga po nito. So, ang una po nating i-discuss ay ang normal voice. So, auditory diagnosis. There are two main focus areas in auditory diagnosis. When we are together with a client, we must be diagnostically aware of the sound emanating involuntary from their body. Yung pag dumating sa inyong pasyente, ino-observe na po natin yan. Pinapakinggan na natin, mayroon ba siyang cough, may abdominal rumbles or respiration, may iba ba tayong naririnig sa paghinga niya? At the same time, pakinggan po natin yung boses. Mahina ba to? Malakas? So, we may well have already heard the sound of their voice, halimbawa pag tumawag sa inyo para makipag-schedule. So, we may also have heard them talking outside our door whilst were in the waiting room. So, I-observe na po natin yun, ano. This will have started to create an impression of who they are from a Chinese medicine perspective. A resonant or loud voice will usually indicate that the person has a exist condition. Yung pagdating yung parang, tao po, yung sumisigaw na ano, so exist condition po yun. Kung weak naman po yung voice niya, nagsasabi po to ng imbalances are probably more on deficient condition. Yan. A gravely voice will indicate phlegm. Yung parang galing sa hukay yung boses niya, yung malalim. Yan. Or staccato or clip voice will point us the direction of liberty stagnation. Sa mga boses pa lang, malalaman na natin. So the patient can continue to provide us with auditory information before we see them. The way they press the doorbell, the sound of their step in the halfway, the strength of their voice, while talking on the mobile phone in the waiting room, and their coughs and sniffles, etc. So doon pa lang po, makakahanap na tayo, makikita na natin siya, ano yung mga information about the client and their patterns of imbalance. Tingin pa lang natin, kilos pa lang niya, alam na natin. Okay po? So when we initiate the verbal interview, we should simultaneously gleaning information on two levels. We should be listening not just to their answer to our question and their description of their condition, but also how they are communicating. So habang tinatanong po natin, talagang kin-observer na po tayo paano siya sumagot, pasigaw ba, sobra bang hina, yan, paano siya nagre-react. Yan, nakikita natin kung deficient, excess condition, may heat or cold po dyan. When they sit opposite us during the diagnostic interview and whilst they lay on the couch, we should pay attention to their breathing. Yan, pati paghinga. If they have a cough, it is a great help to able to hear the sound of their coughing rather than the description of how it sounds. So it is unfortunately necessary to ask about several aspects of this diagnostic failure. Rather than actually experiencing them, it is probably more likely that you are going to have to ask a woman with morning sickness about how her vomiting is, rather than actually hearing her vomit. So, mas actual mong nakikita kasi yung pasyente. So, auditory diagnosis of the person's voice. The voice is something we will hear during the consultation. And we may well have already heard their voice on the phone or in the waiting room. This may even be only auditory sign from the patient that we pick up. So, kung sa telepono kasi, so yung voice lang. Pero pag dumating na sa'yo, makikita mo pati yung paano yung paggalaw. The voice will nearly always give us relevant diagnostic information about the patient, and this can be vital. The voice is affected directly and indirectly by various organs and vital substances, the emotion and seichi. Ito yung mga sanhi ng sakit, particularly heat. If listening to the patient voice will give us impression of more than one aspect of client's imbalances. If it is the heart that enables a person to communicate with others, siyempre yung heart po ano? Ang heart po gives a person the ability to express themselves and open up to others. A person literally tells other people what in their heart or on their mind. It is therefore said that speech is controlled by the heart. Yun. So yun po yung kung paano tayo nagsasalita, nakikita natin yung situation ng puso. Kasi kung healthy ang puso, tama rin yung mga direksyon ng pagsasalita mo. When the heart is in balance, a person has a desire and need to communicate with others. So, kung hindi maayos po yung energy ng puso, kinakausap mo pero hindi siya attentive, parang lumilipad ng isip. Yan. At the same time, the heart should also be able to close when appropriate and have sense of lie or propriety. When the heart is imbalanced, a person can have a tendency to either over or under communicate. Yung mga madadaldal na tao po, na di mo palang tinatang dami ng sinabi, pero minsan di related dun sa tanong mo. So makikita mo po dun yung heart energy niya is unbalanced. Yun, to talk too much or too little. Tinanong mo na, hindi rin sumasagot. And give out too much, too little, or too inappropriate information. So alam mo na, pag iba-iba na yung sinasabi, heart po yung imbalance. The heart has very close relationship with tongue. Siyempre, yung tongue, di ba yan yung external din ng heart. The tongue is the sense organ that relates to the fire, face, and to the earth heart organ. Whereas the other sense organ are hollow and therefore can receive and absorb impression. So the tongue is solid. This is relevant to heart, which needs to be empty and not filled so it can receive and manifest the dao. Where the other sound organs receive stimulation and impression via their sense organ. The heart can empty itself through the use of the tongue. So yung laman nga ng puso mo, lumalabas yun sa sinasabi mo. Kaya po yung kasabihan, di ba, ng matatanda, totoo. The tongue communicates a person's thoughts. Kung anong iniisip mo yun, nalalabas sa dila mo. Ideas and emotion by speech. Pero lang kung isa sign language niya. Yung hindi nakakapagsalita, sina-sign language. The more activity and movement that there is in the heart, in Shen, the more the tongue will be active. A person with heart deficiency, heart chi deficiency or heart chi stagnation will tend to be reserved. Yun. Yung mga taong pag tinanong nyo, halos ayaw sumagot, pwede po siyang heart chi deficient or may stagnation ang heart chi niya. And thus, they will talk less and you will have the sensation of having to draw its word out them. Parang yung ang hirap-hirap mong palabasin yung gusto mong palabasin sa kanya. So, i-diagnose na po ninyo yan, may heart chi deficiency. Ayun, mahangin. Napapasok na ako ng hangin. There is so a difference in their taciturnity. A person with heart chi deficiency will be more shy and timid. Ayun, yung mga tao pong masyadong mahiyain, chi deficiency po yun. Ay, totoo po, kasi yung isang pasyente namin na bata, nag-collapse siya. Siyempre, nung dinala sa hospital, Wala naman siyang sakit. Pero very weak yung heart. Halos hindi ito nagsasalitang batang to. Whereas a person with heart stagnation will be more terse and uncommunicative. If there is heat agitating the heart, on the other hand, the person will often have a tendency to over-communicate. Yung salita ng salita naman ito. Example, they will be loquacious. The speed of the voice is also affected by how much heat there is in the heart. A person with heart fire will tend to talk more quickly. Yung mabilis magsalita. May ganun po na tao, di ba? Na pag salita parang laging hinahabol. So this is because heat accelerate process, including speech, but also because heat will agitate the shell and thereby increase mental activity. At the same time, heat in the heart will often result in person opening too much and over-communicating. Ayun. Yung po ano, pag masyadong madaldal, heat in the heart. An extreme example of this is someone who is manic. Mga nawawala na rin sa sarili. Salita ng salita. So the boy should have vitality. This is not similar to the tongue, pulse, and skin, which should all have shen. A quality of vitality, the same is true of the voice, but it does not have the same connotation. When there are deficient condition or stagnation in the heart and shen, it's either black or malnourished. So the voice will lack a certain quality. So the quality isn't volume, and it isn't necessarily joy. It is more movement. So the voice should vary and change as they talk, especially as the subject area that they are talking about changes. That reflects the natural movement of the shen. So yun, nagre-reflect po yung kalagayan ng ating heart sa pagsasalita. At makikita natin kung weak kasi yung heart, yung weak din yung pagsasalita, yung shen, weak din siya. The boy should not be stuck on a certain gear. When the pulse with shen is firm, solid and rhythmic, and it's beating, the boy should have an even flow and not be stuttering or confused. Yung kasi iba po pag nagsasalita, stuttering yung parang nauutal. So it should also have the sound of joy and happiness. And it. If there's no joy, the heart, chi, and shen are either blocked or undernourished. Ano man nagkukwento na to ng masaya pero parang wala pa rin kabuhay-buhay na. Ay, nanalo po ako kahapon. So, hindi po yun normal. Ibig sabihin, yung heart chi niya at yung kanyang shen ay black or undernourished. So, there will be a flatness and maybe even a tone of sadness in the voice. Ayun. Nagre-reflect yung mga emotion na, no? On the other hand, if there is too much heat in the heart, there can be too much of the quality of joy and happiness. The voice can be unnaturally glad. This is the life and soul of the party voice. Here, the voice will often be voluble and accompanied by too much laughter. Ayun yung sobrang yung tawa ng tawa. Also, there be frequently be too many inappropriate jokes. Yung kahit ano-ano na lang na jokes, magkukwento. So, nagsasabi po ito na may heat yung heart ng inyong kausap. The heart gene deficiency naman, heart gene deficiency, heat voice won't, of course, be voluble. And the laughter accompanying the voice is more a nervous laughter. Often the end of the sentence like inappropriate punctuation mark. It is not only the heart and heat that affect the voice, yung song chi. O yung energy po ito na nag-combine. So it is also used to create the voice. This means that the lungs will give the voice resonance and force. So involved po yung mga organs natin. Siyempre, yung lungs na nagre-receive ng hangin. So it is said that lungs control the voice. A person with lung qi deficiency will have a weak or quiet voice. Yun yung may mga ano po, yung madalas inuubo, minsan may diagnosis ang doktor na may PTB, napaka-weak po ng mga voice kung due to lung qi deficiency. The liver ensures that the flow of qi is free and uninhibited throughout the body. This means that even though song qi gives the voice its strength, it is liver qi that ensure that the voice flow freely and evenly. Kasi nga, di ba yung liver, siya ang nag-uutos para dumaloy ng maayos ang dugo. Ang dugo ay andun ang qi sa ating buong katawan. So kung may stagnation, so hindi po niya magagawa yung kanyang gawain na mapuflow ng maayos ang qi sa buong katawan, kaya naapektuhan. So when there is qi stagnation, the voice can have hardness and become staccato, sounding a bit like a machine gun firing. Yung biglang malakas. Yun. Tapos yung parang yun, gun firing na sunod-sunod siya magsalita. The vocal cord, which creates the sound of the voice, depend on the being moist and nourished. Yun yung mga vocal cords natin. So this moisture and nourishment ay provided ng ating blood at ng ginye, fluids ng body. This means that blood deficiency and yin deficiency and excess heat can all affect the sound of the voice. So yun po, yung mahalaga yun The vocal cords can also be coated and thereby blocked by the phlegm. Yan. Kung weak yung lungs, madaling pumunta yung phlegm. Magbablock dun sa lalamunan, nahirapan na magsalita. So the sound of the voice is produced by the combined function of many parts of the body, which are influenced by various internal organs in Chinese medicine. The lung themselves, lungs, ito po yung ng larynx. So nasa lungs din ang epiglottis. Lungs, larynx, lungs, epiglottis, kidney, tongue, ito yung sa heart, teeth, under ng kidney, lips, under ng spleen, and nose, under ng lungs. Sila yung mga namamahala. So for this reason, the voice can affect the state of qi in general. So because several organs are involved in its production, particularly the lungs, heart, spleen, and kidney. Ayan po yung namamahala sa ating boses. Kaya kung humihina na po yung mga boses natin, yan yung mga totonify natin. So the voice is produced by following organs. Lungs, di ba yung papasok mo na yung yun, para magkaroon ng sound, lungs. Then, under din lang lungs yung larynx. Itong epiglottis po, under ng kidney. So yung tongue, heart, teeth, kidney. Sila yung mga namamahala. Ang lips, spleen. Nose, external din po na lungs. The voice is an important diagnostic element and one that is used as soon as the patient comes and greets us. This gives us the very first impression of the person qi in general. So, pagbati pa lang sa inyo, alam na ninyo kung deficient yan, kung excess, and kung may stagnation. A strong voice reflecting strong qi and a weak voice indicating qi deficiency. The voice is an important reflection of the state of the mind and spirit, as well because talking in general is controlled by heart. Our voice, of course, reflects very closely our mental emotional state. And we can easily detect sadness, worry, fear or anger, and someone's voice. O, tandaan po natin ito, di ba yung mga emotion ng mga organs din to. Yan. Kung nalulungkot, syempre sa lungs yung po magre-reflect yan sa boses, malungkot. Ibig sabihin, yun, yung organ niya pwedeng very weak. Pag lagi siyang nag-worry, mag-reflect din sa sa voice. Yan. Di ba yung worry? Fear, nanginginig po yung boses. Pag anger, biglang lalakas. Lalakas yung boses niya. So yung mga organ na yun, affected po yan. The voice is a direct manifestation of lung qi and it is readily reflects lung qi state. The lungs influence the tone and strength of the voice. The heart influences the speech itself in the two ways. So, balikan po natin yung lungs sa strength ng voice. Ang heart naman, yung nilalaman ng sinasabi mo na lumalabas dun sa voice. So, the heart has a profound influence on the tone and texture of the voice. So, because it controls the tongue, which is crucial organ in the production of speech. So, bukod dun sa nilalaman, yung tone, yung kung magbigkas ka biglang malakas, biglang mahina, yun. So the second, the heart houses the mind and spirit, and the tone and strength of the voice are very much affected by the speaker's mental, emotional state. Yun. Kasi siya nga yung namamahala sa ating spirit. So the spleen controls the lips, yung ating mga labi, which they are also a crucial factor in the production of speech. Obviously, this influences the strength and tone of the voice. For example, kung spleen qi deficient ka, maaaring ang lips mo ay lack of strength sa pagsasalita. Maaaring unclear. Halimbawa, parang nauutal ka or hindi mo nabibigkas ng maayos yung mga word. In addition, although the tone and strength of the voice reflects primarily the state of the lung qi. Yun nga, minsan wala nang energy yung pagsasalita mo. Nawawala na. Ibig sabihin po, mahina yung lung qi. So may technique po yan. Kasi pag mahina na yung salita, pressure mo na yung lung 9 mo para ma-energize. So, minsan po hindi yun naiwasan Halimbawa yung matagal ka nagsasalita. Tulad ko ngayon ako, matagal ako nagsasalita. Kung weak po yung lungs ko, parang nauubos yung hanggang papahina na yung boses. Pero isang technique, i-pressure mo na po yung lung 9 mo. Nagsisimula na siya matonify. So they also reflect the state of qi in general. And therefore of the spleen, which is the root of postnatal qi. Next is the kidney. The kidney influences the pitch and quality of the voice because the original qi emerging from between the kidneys reaches the root of the tongue. Naalala po natin sa nakapwesto sa tongue, doon po sa root, doon natin nakikita ang kalagayan ng kidney. So allowing the larynx to emit sounds. So when listening to the voice, one should assess the overall strength, tone, pitch, and quality of the voice itself. The manner of speech, example po dito, mabilis ba siyang magsalita, slow ba siyang magsalita, confused ba siyang magsalita, slurred, parang nauutal. So malalaman na natin anong organ yung mga may problem. Ano po? Okay. So next is normal voice. The normal voice should be harmonious. Yan. Ang normal voice po harmonious, relatively soft, rounded, clear, and of the right strength. Not too loud or too weak. Katamtama lang po So the normal voice is often compared to sound emitted by a bell. and the lungs are compared to the bell itself. Therefore, when the bell is intact, its ringing sound is clear. So, walang garalgal. Yun. In similar way, when lung chi is good and the lung are unobstructed by phlegm, the voice is clear. Its tone is melodious and its pitch is not too high or too low. When assessing whether the quality, pitch, and tone of the voice are normal. However, there is no universal standard because the voice should be related to the sex, age, and body build of the patient. So, wala pong standard yan, kasi nakadepende nga yan. Iba ang tono ng lalaki sa babae. Pero nagagaya na rin ngayon ng mga babae yung tono ng lalaki at ganun din yung babae sa lalaki. Age and body build. So, kung malalaki sila, iba rin yung boses nila. Therefore, what is too weak a voice for a well-built man might be normal for a small-built old lady. Siyempre, kung mga malalaki pong tao, pag hininaan niya yung boses niya, ay normal yun dun sa mga may edad na. Pag ikinompare mo, yung lakas, bulong lang dun sa isa, pero dun sa isa, normal niyang salita yun, hindi bulong. Kasi, kung old nga siya, so yung chi niya mas konti na. Next is, allowance should be made also for emotional state of patient because it will easily affect the voice. For example, the golden mirror of medicine. Ang sabi ko dito, when the heart is affected by excess joy, the voice becomes scattered. Diba pag sobrang saya tayo, talagang nagagaralgal yung boses. Kung ang heart naman po natin ay affected sa anger, the voice become indignant and stern. Siyempre, galit ka eh. Kung affected naman po sa grief, magkakaroon ng become sad and hoarse. Yung parang iba rin yung maririnig mo. So when the heart is affected by love, the voice is warm and harmonious. Ito yung mga sweet, mga parang ang sarap pakinggan. When the heart is happy, the voice is slow and relaxed. So thank you po for your attention. Marami po tayong nakuhang kaalaman sana dito na doon pa lang sa voice, makikita mo na yung situation ng mga organs ng iyong pasyente. Thank you po.